the world with the social media and everything has changed the amount of.
People don't always think about it this way, but engineering school teaches you how to not be.
Isn't it crazy? Like the best marketers and salespeople are the most people.
They are. I've not met a person who truly does not care what other people think about them. Empathy is not the enemy of productivity or sales. It is the...
I can't believe they blah, 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 blank, right?
I can choose to be right, or I can choose to be...
He would always start the thing, like when he did a talk, he'd say, who is your number one client? And it's, it's a trick question because the number one client is your...
Be empathetic. It is a muscle that you can, it's like a muscle that you can build like everything else if you... I love my insurance agent, but I didn't at first. In fact, she used to get on my nerves because I thought she was giving me fake empathy and fake care and concern. But over time, with more questions, what I have realized is she has probably read all my products and she watches all my interviews and she is quite interested in me. And she even remembers things like the day my mother died. So I am Dr. Nicole Price and I am an honorary insurance dudette.
Woo! Whoa! Yes. Love it.
Well,
that's a good intro. So tell us about you thought that she was just all over you, right? Like it was just too much. Tell me about and I love that you talked about the empathy part, especially regarding your book and everything. So let's dive into that a little bit.
Yeah.
And
I thought she was being fake. I thought she had gone to some insurance salesperson's class and they told her to do these 10 things. And so she did them for all her clients and she had a spreadsheet to keep up with me or something. But over time, it was very clear that that's not actually what it was, that she was actually interested in the things that I was doing and uses them to run her business. So I do leadership development consulting. At the time that I first met her, I don't know that I was an empathy revolutionary as I am today. And I usually try to figure out how I could get work done despite people and did not want to talk to my insurance agent ever. Like, why are you emailing me? I pay my bill. Leave me alone.
So why was she trying to connect?
Well, I think that's just who she is actually. But I didn't get that right away. But that's probably more because that's not who I was necessarily. So I thought everybody was kind of doing the fake thing. And I'm like, girl, save yourself time. Just send me the link to pay the bill and I'll pay. You ain't got to do all that. But one day I had done a local interview on a TV show and she sent me a note commenting about it. And I was like, oh, well, how'd she even know about that if she's not? I mean, it's like 9:00 in the morning on daytime news. And I was like, oh my gosh, she's actually following me. So then I went back and kind of read some of her emails that I was not reading. And I realized that, oh my gosh, who's the jerk in this relationship? That would have absolutely been me.
Wow.
Oh,
that's a big step to actually identify that, right?
Yeah.
For human, not just you, anybody, right? Yeah, for humans to admit wrong.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if she's doing me a service and I'm paying, she's trying to provide good customer service. And what would I want if I were in that role? I wouldn't want to be ignored. I wouldn't want somebody to assume the worst. I wouldn't want someone to act irritated every time I called them. And that was my work to do. And apparently lots of insurance agents get treated that way until they're needed. And that's bad. We got to.
Maybe all of them.
All. So let's just claim it. All.
Nobody wants to talk to an insurance agent. Yeah, I don't even want to talk to an insurance agent. It's not the fun phone call. It's like getting a root canal, right?
And I don't want to audit my artwork. I know I should, because if something happens, I'll be so mad that I didn't get it all captured.
Right.
It's like, how much can I get away with before I need the thing?
Yeah.
Or how much can I procrastinate?
It's time for me to renew my my license plates. And I'm like, oh, where's my insurance card? I don't even know.
It's I can't believe I don't have it.
Yeah.
What's my password to get in? But all those things are simple. But yeah, I think I'm the worst person to talk about empathy, and people keep telling me that that's not true. But I think I'm the worst because it's not natural. I've had to work on it. I've had to learn how to build it, to try to put myself in the shoes of another person, to see what they think, feel, and believe. And honestly, it makes us better business owners if we understand people better. And too often people think empathy means that you got to be nice and kind, which that's probably good for business. But understanding, honestly, if I could think about one thing she could have done differently, is kind of understood who I was in that moment, and maybe reserved a little bit of her mental energy until I was ready for it.
Yeah.
She was wasting time.
Yeah.
Right.
Coming on a little strong.
Yeah. It's like love bombing or something. I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
The little BS meter starts going off and you're like, wait a minute. Why are you being so nice?
Why are you being so nice? Am I paying extra?
Are you East Coast?
I'm actually in the Midwest. Isn't that terrible? I'm like,
you're supposed to be super nice. Just that's the way that it works.
That's the bad part about the Midwest. We're all like Midwest nice, but it's air quotes over here, right? Like we got to act like it, but I was rolling my eyes and all the things.
So I think like empathy is one of these things, and it's a tough one, right? Like it's tough to know it, understand it. And I think that a lot of people get empathy confused with other, I guess, is it an emotion? Other things like compassion, kindness. It's sort of that, but not really, right?
That's right. In fact, I would say when my mother died, many people came up at the funeral and they talked about how she was just the kindest person ever. And I remember almost not being able to sit still, because I'm like, my mom was empathetic. She was charitable. She would help you, but she wasn't nice.
That's funny.
I wouldn't use those words. Now, was she going to feed you? Yes, but she wasn't going to sit around talking about your puppy all day. Like it wasn't happening. And so I think sometimes when people are anti-empathy, they think about it because they're like, oh, I got to be nice to these people, or I got to agree with people to be empathetic to them. They have to be deserving for me to be empathetic. And in the most simplest way, I say empathy is trying to understand that no matter what another person thinks, feels, or believes, it makes total sense to them.
Right.
Makes total sense to them. And from that lens, now, how should I respond? How should I be?
That's it right there. I wonder how much like the world with the social media and everything has changed the amount of empathy, because it seems like people just on social media, like, it's I'm going to yell at you louder with my opinion instead of trying to understand your opinion.
Yeah. The algorithms don't help us.
No, they want it to.
Right. They have us in these echo chambers. I tend to see things that are a little more controversial than things that are uplifting. And that's with me seeking out things about empathy and compassion and charity. And so that's not helping us, but also it's a little easier to not understand or be empathetic to someone when we don't humanize them. So when you're on the other side of a computer screen,
right?
Even me, like today, somebody said something in a response to me on social media, and I got ready to respond on Instagram, but you know how some people have it, you can't respond back to them, and it's like at null. And I was like, see, I didn't need to spend any of my energy on that anyway. And so what happened was the universe saved me, is what happened.
Yes, because you were about ready to type.
I was getting ready. It was a satirical site, and I was telling a joke, like to go along, like I was just sticking with the joke that the original person told. And someone like started treating it seriously. And I was like, wait, what? This is a satire site. If they don't know this is a satire site, they don't need to hear from me. Like,
They're over there on The Onion getting angry at the article.
Too late. It's I'm like talking to a bot.
You mentioned how you came from a place where you weren't empathetic, didn't have an understanding of empathy, and now have a book on it.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you walk us through that journey, and then I'm going to shut up and let Jason talk for a while.
Okay. So I'm an engineer by degree, and people don't always think about it this way, but engineering school teaches you how to not be empathetic. So let's say I got to get 200,000 parts out on Friday, and you're sick, Jason. I need to put somebody else in that spot, and I don't need to be thinking about them as a human.
Right.
I just need somebody I can plug into that spot and can do the job just as you did without any break in productivity. And that's what engineering is. How can I make things designed so well that the show goes on? It's the reason why airplanes don't crash nearly as much anymore. It's not because pilots are better. We have engineered out the human dynamics that make it such that you can put your battery in your car wrong. You can't. You can try, but you can't. It's not possible.
Right.
You can't do it anymore, where you used to be able to. And so I've been trained kind of to be more objective, less thoughtful about individual people and taking more of a bird's eye view. But my mom in particular is probably the primary reason why I'm not very empathetic. So she, I know I've not been in therapy about this, but it's true. She was the minister of like food at church. And so then she would feed everybody at home too. And I think that sounds good in theory until you have 50, 60 people coming by your house every day. And when you're a kid, that's just disruptive. And some of these people have had interesting backgrounds, have made interesting choices. And while they're coming to eat, they're also telling stories about, they've been in jail like the 4th time, or they don't have their kids because the state has taken them. I mean, just story after story after story. And as a child, I was overwhelmed. And I would just zone out. Like, do you need some toast with that? I mean, I just would just completely.
Right.
It was overwhelming for me. I didn't have good boundaries. And I used to think she didn't have good boundaries. And then when she passed away, there were so many people who were wanting to come to celebrate her that we had to have 2 services. And we had to go to a different place because there were thousands of people who wanted to celebrate her life.
Touched so many lives.
And what was interesting about her death was that she was killed by a guy who had stolen a car and was drinking and driving and had run a red light. So we're now in this like murder trial.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm doing the engineering thing, right? I take off work for the little bit of time they give you, and then I go back to work, and I'm just supposed to just do my work because the show must go on. And you're grabbing your face because that's not how it works.
Yeah.
And so for the first time in my life, my brain could not get me out of what I was emotionally feeling.
Right.
And I started to notice other people who were having that same experience. And I realized that before then, I was one of those people who would have never noticed. Ever. And it just drastically changed the way I think about people. But I, once I got over my grief event, I did start to try to train leaders to be better, but I wasn't thinking about empathy. I still thought about that as something HR people do, or I don't know, your therapist or something. But one day I was talking to one of the wealthiest people in my region, and he had sat through one of my leadership sessions, and he said, thank you very much. And I'm like, okay, what is he about to say next? Like, when people giving you feedback, they start giving you the good stuff first. You're like, oh my God, what's happening? What's about to come? And he goes, that was really good intellectually. But I was hoping that you would help me get it emotionally. And then he said a whole bunch of things after that, but I was just stuck on, did he just tell me he don't care nothing about what I just said?
Yeah.
He just told me he didn't care about what I just said. But it was an epiphany, because I was like, none of this stuff we're trying to do is going to work unless we really learn how to care, meaning what is Jason really thinking, feeling, believing? What does he need right now? I do love my artwork. If my agent talked to me about what would happen if there was some travesty and I lost these pieces and wasn't able to get them replaced, I probably do my audit, I probably do it. But, I get busy and I prioritize other things. And I just truly believe that no matter what our jobs are, if we can lean into empathy, that it'll make us better at it. That's what I think.
Love it. So true. I have a question.
Yeah.
Now that you're, you have the book out. Now you're marketing your book. You probably are learning a lot about sales and marketing, and you probably geeked out on that stuff. Isn't it crazy? Like the best marketers and salespeople are the most empathetic people.
They are.
It's like one of the biggest life changes in my life was when I sucked at sales and I came into the insurance agency and I started learning and trying to teach sales. And then it completely changed my me. And then it changed, I started seeing all the people that it started changing. And it's oh my gosh, you think sales is evil. You know what I mean? Everybody, can't stand that salesperson persona. But a true salesperson and somebody that's marketing, and it's the most beautiful thing because it's showing that you care about the other person and you're trying to provide a solution for them.
Yeah. They are the center and not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because my general reaction to my insurance agent at first was absolutely because I thought she was trying to manipulate me.
100%.
And she had done nothing to.
Right.
But it's just that bias we have against salespeople. You say used car salesman, an image comes to mind.
Yeah.
It's difficult to assume good intent, especially after bad things have happened or things that didn't serve us have happened along the way, right? We start to get this callous as we get older and more experiences impact, and all of a sudden we're like your keyboard situation. But then the universe or God or whoever intervened and said, nope, you're not going there. I love that.
You're not going there. I'm interested in knowing, do you all like to talk to your insurance agents?
No. I don't want to talk to anybody with insurance.
I am the insurance.
You are your own insurance agent. Okay.
Yeah, we both own insurance agencies, and then we basically help develop. We developed a way to a sales funnel that works using telemarketers and leads and all this stuff. It's a system, right? And so we put that together, and it worked really well in our own agencies. And then people started asking us because we were talking about it on this podcast, and then we created a company. And so what the really cool thing about it is we've actually employed over 200 people in the Philippines.
Oh, nice.
So all these women, it's 99.9% women that didn't have jobs, or if they did, they had to drive really far at night in the city, this whole thing. And now they get to work from home. And so it's pretty cool. We've actually made an impact on, hundreds of lives over there. So
globally, huh?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So
are they working with people in the Philippines? Or are they working with your,
with other insurance agents?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. But those calls start that way too, right? The person filled out a form on the internet.
Yeah.
And 1 second after they hit enter, a telemarketer's on the phone with them, and they're like, "Oh no," and they say, "No," but we've taught them how to keep them on, get them over to the agent. Then the agent, using some of the stuff I'm sure we're going to talk about, gets them to the next step. So.
Gets them to the next step. That's cool. It's been interesting because Spark the Heart as a book is getting some of the best feedback I've ever gotten from individuals, which is good.
Yeah.
I've even had preachers preach about it at church and things like that. But what I'm struggling with is organizations aren't buying it as much. So every book I've ever written, usually the organizations call and say, "Hey, come and teach this to my people." But empathy, what I'm starting to learn is that leaders and organizations are I got to hold people accountable. We don't need to be empathetic. And it's there's empathy and accountability are not at battle with each other.
Right.
Empathy is not the enemy of productivity or sales. It is the catalyst.
Yes.
To get there. And I don't know that I would have bought it before either. So I understand that position, but that's what I'm kind of up against. And it's been interesting to experience.
Yeah.
I would change just the cover and connect some sort of financial outcome to it, and then like this is the manual of how to actually improve without having to spend more money. It will actually help you retain your staff, and
everybody's bean counting all the time, right? Like, oh, I need to buy this many more leads to get to the next thing. But what if my leadership actually made them want to, follow and be better and help the world, and all the things that happen with the empathy, right?
All the things that happen with empathy. There's these interesting things that I've learned. Like, let's say you got diabetes and your physician is more empathetic. You are less likely to have to need a kidney transplant because you'll get your A1C scores down at like 20 points greater rate. And it's like, what? Because my doctor's empathetic? But when you dig into it, they're asking questions about lifestyle. So they're giving you solutions that you'll actually do. They're thinking about like, what will you eat? What won't you eat? What can you stick to? Versus just giving you a standard, here, this is what you need to do: eat right, exercise, and less whatever. And so I've been just fascinated by these just very technical roles where outcomes have been better because of empathy.
Yeah. It's funny, like when you're somebody shot us an email for you to be on the podcast, and we get a ton of those, and we just dismiss a lot of them, right? But like the reason why this one spoke so much to me is because, like, as we are running our sales teams, so as we have teams within our agencies, and just like on the front end, you're talking about the sales, and like the empathetic aspect of a sale is the difference of the old salesperson to compare with the new sales. The old successful salesperson needed less empathy. The new successful salesperson needs more empathy. But as we've built our organizations, I've seen so many agencies that have a team and they lead more with like, oh, that's the sales rock star. But that guy's an ass to everybody in the agency, and everybody quits. And like the actual productivity sucks. Like their agency sucks. Their staff members are leaving. Their sales rock star really isn't that great to compare with other successful organizations. So what I've seen is, like, honestly, like the whole idea of empathy and truly caring about those around you, especially if you have a team, because I have 8 hours a day or 10 hours, whatever I put into my work, but like you start stacking all the hours of your team members, and really, like, if you can really care about them, they will care about you. And then all of a sudden you have an army of people, and then your care to them produces the care to your client.
It trickles down.
It does. It's like
JLD,
greatest.
like what JLD says with the 5 people you hang out with the most, right? Like how it impacts. And it's if they're I don't want to say monkey see, monkey do, but like they do what the boss does.
They do it. You got to model what you want to see. Yeah. And when we make excuses for people who show up in ways that lack human dignity for others because of their outcomes and their numbers, well, what does it cost you when you have to get a new salesperson every other week because they keep quitting because they can't work with that person?
Way more.
What is $30K per?
Yeah. And what does it cost you when people are sitting around talking about that person instead of focusing on what they need to do? But, here's one thing that I hadn't considered. And it is, what is the leader's responsibility to actually talk to that person about how they're showing up? Too often we allow them to continue because their numbers are so great. But what if you actually said, hey, what do you want your relationship to be like with your peers? I've not met a person who truly does not care what other people think about them. Now, there are those who have to get past it, but we want to be liked and you want to do a good job. And so sometimes, because no one's ever asked you to step up in that way, then you just keep doing what you've always done. And my question to the agents is, how's that working for you?
I love that.
So agents, how is that working for you?
Seriously, you should email us at the iDudes.
Yeah, and give us
dudes at the iDudes.
Dudes at the iDudes, and I'm honorary insurance.
Yeah, we'll forward if they have a question for you. Well, we're gonna get your details out too.
We already have them. Of course.
Right? Oh, we have them.
Yeah.
I knew that.
I think it's interesting when I hear you talk about people can't see your face, Jason, but your face when you were talking about how you became such a good salesperson and actually caring and how that just really impacted other people. I can feel it through the screen. I'm energized. It's like, isn't it nice to be with someone where you feel a little more energy coming from them versus somebody who's draining you because it's just drudgery.
Yeah.
She looked right at me when she said that last part.
No, not that way. Not that way.
He's old and tired. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. So I think I would like to know from you, what's your advice, you think, for how to get more insurance agents to be more empathetic?
Well, they need to read your book.
There you go.
Yeah, which we'll put the link in there.
It's an easy read, and it's on Audible too.
Oh, well then Jason. Yeah, that's easy for Jason.
Dude, I hammer through Audible. I love Audibles.
Me too.
Oh, so good.
Unless the reader is bad, but I did the reading and I can read pretty well.
Oh, cool.
Like
dude, I'm going to listen to that tonight. That's awesome. I would say, I think that I think it's the one thing that can be passed over. Like with all the worries of a business owner and, everything that we think about, that we think like, oh, we need to handle the things that are on fire right now. Mm-hmm. Like the mad client, the bills, this person called out sick. So it's so easy to like, as far as like the, empathy part and actually talking to people. And like, it seems like it's not worth the time, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh my gosh, there's so many things. I think that, I think people just need to realize that like all the things that you think that you're worrying about actually will get better if you spend the time on the things that you think don't matter. So, and I would say one story I have is like my wife was, dude, she's going to, thank God.
She's not going to hear this.
No, she hates this. So she worked as a Starbucks manager when she was young, and actually right across the street from here. And she had a ton of employees. So this was, 20 years ago. And it was, with back then we were less empathetic, as a society, let's say, so it's like, don't show up to work, then you're blah, blah, blah. It's like just rule based. Well, when I started scaling my insurance agency, I was spending a lot of time on the phone with like a sales agent that was crying about something, or like, you know what I mean? It was like a lot of conversations. She's like, you're like a therapist. What are you doing? Like, you shouldn't do that. You should just fire them if they're going to be like that. It's like, oh, but like, well, some of the stuff that maybe I took it a little far of the conversations of maybe, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Were you operating like a therapist completely outside your licensure a little bit?
A little bit, maybe a little bit. I mean, I had a lot.
Sometimes it's what it takes, like
that's the thing. And that was the realization, was that is what it takes. And sometimes that person does need a little help that's maybe outside of work a little bit. You got to draw your own personal boundaries, I guess. But like those conversations were so important. Mm-hmm. What were you going to say, Greg?
Well, just like those situations where you make a difference and you help somebody in that same way, like
what it's all about.
When it comes to down the line, when the other person is trashing you and trying to do something wrong, they're like, right? They got your back.
100%.
You build an army of people that have your back, and you've got a lot more protection than just going by, you're late by 1 minute, get out of here.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
right.
People, yeah.
I've got one tool I want to leave with your listeners. So let me know when's the best time to share that, because I want people to try just one little thing.
Love it. I would love to hear it.
Yeah, just do it. Let's go for it.
So I want them to pick someone, their oldest customers. Oldest.
Like oldest in age or oldest in tenure?
Oldest in age.
Okay.
And I want them to do a ride along and act as if the person got stopped by the police. Let's assume this is car insurance, auto insurance.
Yeah.
And I want you to help them try to find their insurance card on their phone. And then after you experience that, what do you think you need to change about your process to be able to help them?
And that's empathy, right?
Putting
yourself in their shoes.
That's correct. Because one of the reasons why I started I call that the empathy walk. And you can redirect it to whatever you need it to be, whatever, customers you think struggle the most, but go and spend a day in their life so you can get a chance to see. Some of our clients are lawyers and judges. And so we went to this huge conference, mostly for judges. Well, use all your biases. How old do you think the people are? They're mostly judges.
50. 70.
Yeah, 67.
Really?
Yeah. So we were
He's young, Jason. See?
To be a judge, right? So these are mostly judges.
Wow.
So we get to, after I give my keynote, and we've got our booth set up, and we didn't bring any paper. We just got a QR code on the thing. Some of them had flip phones. I know. And I have some strong beliefs about how in the world did you still have a flip phone in 2023?
Right. It's like a fax machine.
And I'm 1000% correct in my opinions. And if I'm going to have judges as clients, how effective am I?
Ineffective.
100%.
Because when I'm being empathetic, first of all, if you're a judge, you are thinking that you have arrived. Nobody's going to tell you what to do in terms of what phone's going to work or not. Number two, oftentimes they're in spaces where they can't have cameras, depending on what kind of courthouse they work in. Number three, do I want them to get the book or not? And if I do, that flip phone is not scanning a QR code. And so I could easily have brought some books there that they could pay for right there. And I just didn't, because I was not thinking about what their needs were. I was thinking about mine.
I love that perspective of just flipping it. So how many times do we as the average human tend to go, I can't believe they blah, 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 blank, right?
Ego.
When it's like, it's the opposite. I can't believe why didn't I expect that? Because I didn't think about,
Because when I thought about it, I'm like, of course they don't have relevant technology. We've seen this play out on television in a few real life situations. And I can choose to be right, or I can choose to be effective.
Ooh.
Being right is insufficient for being effective.
That's Craig's favorite.
Not even
my favorite line.
It's not even necessary.
I say to my wife all the time. It's her favorite line that I say.
I love talking points.
Yeah. So I don't say it when I'm right, only when I'm wrong. Then I say being right is insufficient for being effective.
Yeah.
And then she goes, shut up, get out of here.
And it's like, I don't want to carry inventory. I don't want to go to a conference with all these books and then have to come back with them. But the thing is, now that I've designed for the neediest, I'm actually selling more books. The QR code people have what they need. The people who don't have that get what they need. It's a win-win.
Right.
It's sales
just
101.
You sell them what they want and then give them what they need. And that's you got to give them that thing. Yeah.
It's funny. I was thinking about what you were saying with the empathetic part towards our clients. And I would say as a whole, insurance agents are super empathetic of their clients, but not their staff.
Oh my gosh. So this is good to know. So schools are like that.
What do you mean?
principals are very empathetic towards the children. The teachers and staff, not so much. And so this is good. This is good to know, because what that looks like is that leaders have to remember that how you treat your people is how they treat your people.
Yeah,
100%.
I will die on that hill. Like, if you think that you can berate people and then they're going to show up in beautiful ways for your clients, I got some beachfront property to sell you right here in Missouri.
A really good buddy of mine from, actually I've known since kindergarten, but he worked with Tony Robbins for a long time, and I just lost my train of thought. What the heck?
Beachfront property.
No, that's what threw me off.
I thought that's what got you.
Your leaders need to pour into their people in order for their people to.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Bring it back. See,
their number. He would always start the thing, like when he did a talk, he'd say, "Who is your number one client?" And it's a trick question, because the number one client is your staff. That's your number one client, because if you don't treat them well, your clients aren't going to be treated well. And so. And it is coming from that place of empathy, right? You have to understand them. You have to understand what drives them, what makes them tick. It's not money, usually. And so
if you pay decent, it's not money.
Yeah. If it was money, then they would have a business, because they would see that that's the way to get to the level of just not, this fixed amount. So yeah, I think it's important.
And then I think on the other side of that, it's they're less empathy for their team, more empathy for their current clients, and less empathy for the market. Like as in the market's changed a lot since the old day of the way things were done. So a lot of agents are very hands-on and stuff, but maybe they're not, to your point, showing them how to do the mobile app. They're like, screw the mobile thing. They're not moving along with that. So they're not being so empathetic with the changing climate of what's going on in the marketplace, Yeah.
And maybe it's not my responsibility to teach somebody something, but again, do you want to be right or do you want to be effective?
That's it.
Absolutely taught people how to use video devices. I've taught people how to use the QR code. Is that my job? Absolutely not. But when I ask questions like, hey, do you want to do video chat with your grandchild?
Boom.
You told me you had a grandchild. Did you want to see your grandchild every day? That's a good reason to get a smartphone. And I think that converted a couple judges right then to, I didn't think about that,
Yeah. Love it.
And they can call you up on video. And you can talk all the time.
FaceTime.
And that flip phone won't let you do that.
No. Although I did have some conversations with my folks on FaceTime, and it did not work very well. They couldn't figure it.
Were they not?
They're like, we can't see you, and I'm like, I don't know. I can see you. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
You got to show them you got to show them when you're with them next.
I wasn't being empathetic.
Well, I mean, it can be kind of frustrating because it's so second nature to us.
Right.
And that if nobody listens to anything else I say, that's what it is. That's when we need to lean into empathy even more. When you're like, I'm so surprised. That's your indication that you don't have enough proximity to even be able to be effective with that person. So how can you do a better job of getting into their shoes?
Interesting.
I love
so if you become frustrated or surprised by the thing they have, you're, instead of going, get out of here, go,
get close.
Is the opportunity. The opportunity has come.
That's what I call it. Get close.
Get close.
And breathe, okay? Because pressure will go up.
What are some things as a business owner, insurance agent, whatever, human? What are some things that would help us on this journey? Just some exercises that I love. The one that you just gave of helping.
The empathy walk is my favorite one. My second favorite one is called empathetic listening. So it sounds like that both of you are skilled in this, but sometimes we listen not to solve the problem. Sometimes we listen just because the person needs to talk.
I'm working on that.
Yeah, my wife would say,
is in process right now.
The reason for listening empathetically is to benefit the speaker, not the listener.
Mm.
And sometimes, especially when somebody's views are drastically different from mine, I lean solidly into empathetic listening.
How?
I know. Well, you know how you practice is watch a news station that you don't typically watch.
I don't watch any of them.
So have fun. Watch some.
Yeah, any of it.
Give yourself like 2 minutes. You don't have to do it for a long time, but listen. Again, you're not judging what's being said. You're just saying, me sitting here listening right now is benefiting the person who's talking. And I suggest doing it in those difficult points, because then it's a lot easier when you're doing it for somebody on your staff, when you've done it in the hardest ways.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so cool.
Those are my two favorite exercises. But you know, we just finished our Empathy 14, and it's something you can do anytime you want. But every August 1st, I do 14 days worth of real simple exercises, like publicly, with anybody who follows me on any of my social channels.
Wow,
and so there's these really, you just missed it. But you can do it anytime. You don't need to be with me to do it. But that's just when I do it publicly. And there's simple things like, imagine that you have a specific situation, and what challenges would that cause you if you were trying to get a job, as an example. So you know how people say, oh, there's all these places to work. How are people out here with signs on the street? Well, let me take your ID, your address, your car. Now apply for a job, please.
And all your money and your clothes.
And you smell, because you can only shower in the McDonald's.
And you're really drunk.
Sink. And it's just like, okay, what does that look like? To have to deal with that situation. And I don't expect anybody ever to be charitable if they don't want to be. And when you're judging, you're not helping.
Totally. That is such a good perspective, because it's so hard to be around. It's funny. We all judge to some extent. Like, there's no getting around
all day
that.
long you make judgments. Yeah.
But like it's so many times, like, you get in, like, when I will get judgy, it's like I'm doing the thing that I don't like. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like I'm doing the thing I'm complaining about.
Yes. Like, you know what was hardest for me when I first started, like, really paying attention to empathy, is I would notice these naturally empathetic people, because remember, I'm not naturally empathetic, who would be so judgmental of the rest of us. Like, how could you not consider? And I'm like, what? So then I start judging them for judging us. You see? It's like this horrible cycle.
It's just an endless cycle.
And somebody's got to stop it. And so I'm saying, hey, my name is Nicole, the honorary insurance student, and I'm going first. And I'm just inviting a whole bunch of people to join me.
Well, it's like you have to set aside the ego, get the awareness that it's even happening, because most folks don't even realize that it's happening, or that it exists, or that this is a thing, right? And then, I'm aware. Now I can be empathetic. I'll get results. Yeah.
And it's going to take practice. You know, in this microwave society, people are like, oh, we're going to do this like 3 weeks, and then I got it. I've been working on this for a really long time, actively since 2014. And I will say that now people can't tell the difference. Like, I'll just be in some random grocery store line, and somebody will start pouring their heart out to me. And I used to say, do I have something printed on my forehead telling me about your problems? But someone told me once, they said, it's in the eyes. People can tell that you are not, you care about what they have to say. So I wear sunglasses. No, just kidding.
And that works.
That works. It keeps it down.
Oh, it's funny. So I have to tell you something funny before we wrap this up, is that
I love a joke.
It's so funny that like when I first started in this insurance agency, we had a couple clients that were engineers, and it got to a point when we were selling. It's like, when you get an engineer, it is so hard to
I'm going
sell.
to judge in this
It's
case.
all numbers. It's all facts. And like, it's like, you try to laugh, hey, try to like, nope. It's like numbers, facts, blah, blah, blah. So like,
send me the policy jacket. I'm going to read it. You're like, I want to know if I haven't read it. Nobody reads that. We use it for kindling. Come on.
Yeah, kindling.
Just kidding.
But it's so funny
company.
because especially with our staff and stuff, that's all the engineers are the toughies. They're gonna find out if you, because they don't care if you care about them, but they care about if you know all the information on the policy and like you went through it for them.
That's how you're empathetic to an engineer.
I know.
So see, you can't wait.
Listen, I'm telling you, I resemble those comments. And yeah, it's like, who's the person who knows everything that their car manual says? Like, I know all these weird things my phone does. It's like, just, I don't. But
it's so funny. Like, okay, so the agent, like, full circle, right? Back to the beginning. Your insurance agent was being empathetic, but not empathetic to
me. That's
to you.
She was showing up in the way that she valued,
right?
Instead of understanding who I was at that moment and giving me what I needed.
She was being nice, not empathetic. I've learned so much.
But she was genuinely nice, though. So that's good. And I was
it
like,
wasn't fake nice.
And I was like, this is fake nice. There's no way. There's
because
no way.
You were not being nice.
No.
Because you got the facts. You learned that she went through your social media. You listed out all the stuff. Like if she would have came to you, like, this is all the stuff I've done, now presented it to you, you'd have been like, all right, you did your
research?
Yeah.
Check.
Not sure why, but okay.
That's so good.
Yeah. That's a very astute point. So she did pivot a little bit, right? Like she let me know she was credible. So I
don't know how she has the time to stalk all the clients like that.
Maybe she doesn't. I don't know that she does. Right? Like maybe she doesn't. Maybe she does. It's genuinely
only the famous ones.
Leadership stuff. Oh, the ones that show up on the insurance dudes.
Yeah, the most famous.
Most famous.
Awesome. What's one thing that you want everyone to know before you leave? And then I want to know how people can get a hold of you and
where they can buy the book, everything. All the books and all that.
You're not empathetic or not. You can learn to be empathetic. It is a muscle that you can, it's like a muscle that you can build like everything else if you practice. This is possible and you can start wherever you want. And I give you the entire blueprint in the book, Spark the Heart, Engineering Empathy in Your Organization. It's funny. I make a lot of fun of myself. I tell you how I get it wrong, but they're actionable tools for how to build empathy in yourself and in your leadership team if your team is that large. And you can find out anything about the book or me at drnicoleprice.com. And that's my same name for all my social handles. Dr. Nicole.
Is it Dr. DR or Doctor spelled out?
Who would spell it out? What kind of pathology makes a person? I'm just kidding.
I mean, what if? I'm just trying to be empathetic and put myself in the shoes of the listeners.
So funny thing. My son is an entrepreneur and his business is Dr. Pause spelled out.
Oh, no way. And he said, who would shorten it? It looks so unprofessional.
Oh, you got to tell him about this.
I know. While it was coming out of my mouth, I'm like, oh gosh, I just said something bad about my own child.
No, you got to say, well, you know what? You know who's empathetic to you? This old insurance guy I talked to today.
That's right.
Who was curious
Very
and
old.
asked questions.
I do have one more question.
What is it? I love answering.
Because you're talking about practice and then like gaining, using that muscle memory and all that. Like one of the things that's been very helpful for me is meditation. And they, it's referred to as a practice, right? Because you don't just do it and then you're done. And I notice when I don't, I'm a little more scattered. The ADHD gets worse, right? Like if I don't, I must meditate. And that's for me, because, the thoughts still keep coming, right? And the whole point is to not like push them out, but to notice them and not judge them and just kind of let them float away. And so for me, it's been effective and interesting, I think that it's also been helpful for empathy, because it does help kind of sanitize the amount of judgment that comes out of this thing, right?
Listen, if you are scattered and unfocused in general, it's going to be hard for you to be empathetic to yourself, which will also make it hard to be empathetic to other people. One of the 14 days is mindfulness. Practicing, you don't have to do the whole transcendental meditation class if you don't want to, but just a moment of silence to just focus the mind is helpful.
Even 10 seconds,
yeah,
doesn't matter.
Some breathing.
Yeah.
You want to know what oil and water is?
What?
It's an engineer with somebody with ADHD. Like,
no, but we're having this is like a perfect salad.
No, I say that because ADHD, my wife is very much an engineer. Like on the disc profile, she's got 0 eye.
Oh.
So like, yeah. And I'm like 99 eye.
99.
So talk about like empathy. Like we're having to learn. Well, we've been together for 20 years. We're still learning about how she thinks I do all this wacky stuff because I don't think about it. Like I'm not putting enough time into it. Right. But like, that's the way the ADHD brain works. And then like, I think about the way that she does stuff is like, dude, you're so cold by the way you come off. You know what I mean? It's kind of, and it's just so funny. Like,
is she a high C?
Oh yeah.
His wife and my wife have basically the exact same profiles, disc profiles, and Jason and I basically have the exact same disc profile. So it's very interesting, and we have basically the same relationships with our.
It's
that's
tough.
Funny. That's funny. I'm DI, almost equal.
Yeah,
and then S, and then like hardly any C.
No C. Negative 50 on C.
Yeah, so I'm kind of not like other engineers in that way. My C is not.
Yeah.
That is interesting.
That is interesting. I would expect it to be a high SC.
That's why you're not in. Are you still doing engineering?
Oh no, not at all.
Yeah. So see?
Oh no.
When I started leading engineers, I realized my brain didn't work exactly like engineers.
See, you just have a very smart brain, so you went to engineering, but then you're like, I can't deal with this bullshit.
Yeah, it's the difference between being able to do something and loving to do something. And I was able to do that. I didn't love it. And a lot of my ego was caught up in, hey, I'm an engineer or whatever. Yeah. And you see, I haven't let it go. Like the engineering empathy here. That's what we're doing.
Isn't it funny?
It's okay. You can do that.
It's so funny what the ego holds on to. It's like so self-defeating. Oh. It's so many. Oh.
And it's the wolf in sheep's clothing too, because it's telling you that it's protecting you, but it's not.
It's not.
It's harming you.
Yeah, I think that's why.
For your own good.
I think that's why I tell people about it, right? Like, let me just tell you.
Yeah.
But the engineering stories about lacking empathy, I think they're hilarious, and would love to hear from folks if they think they're hilarious too. Because today I can't even imagine that I used to show up in those ways.
Yeah, I think
we all grow.
I have a heart for it because again, my wife is more like that, and we're two ends of the spectrum. Mm-hmm. So it's oil and water, and it's just fun. Like everybody takes everybody's actions completely incorrectly. You know what I mean? Like have no idea where each other's coming from. So you do need to practice empathy.
Yeah,
like it does help. It helps.
It does help, and sometimes I can't prove it to you. And that's okay. Some people learn pleasantly by reading a book or following somebody on social media. And there are other people like me who had to learn painfully going through a major grief event. But I do think we all learn. We just get to choose how.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great point. Well, Dr. Nicole, this was awesome. Thank you so much. Everybody grab Spark the Heart. And I love Craig's question. Where can you get it? On the internet. Just Googling it.
Google it.
Can I get there on my flip phone?
You can call me and I'll you can give me your address. And
I don't have a flip phone. I got it.
But if you got a regular phone, I shouldn't say, look at that, regular. You see what I just did there? I want you to get it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Target.com, anywhere books are sold.
Awesome.
Target. They still have Target? I thought, wow, I haven't been there in a long time.
You're probably saving money then.
No. It's the after COVID, like I haven't gone to a lot of stores anymore.
Everything
Why?
delivered because
Everything gets delivered.
People.
Nah, I don't like them.
You want to be
I'm
in the
just kidding.
grocery store line with them telling you about their life stories like me.
Let's preface this with Craig's been all over the world in the last year and barely at work. So he's getting out there.
He's not working.
He's getting out there.
I was in Portugal for a month and then I was in Hawaii for a few weeks. So
Oh, not a shame there. It's
not Maui though. Not Maui. Those poor people. It's awful.
I know. The pictures are awful.
It's awful.
Dude.
I was on the waves that were part of that whole thing, but I was on Kauai, so we missed it, luckily. But we got the waves, and I almost died from that. So,
all right. Well,
why do we have to close it like that?
I know it's a sad way to close it. Disc profile eyes do not like to close on a sad note, so we got.
I don't know where that came from.
That's an open. Sorry. Now we have an open loop. Open loop. Close. All right. Dr. Nicole, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. It's a subject that I think everybody needs to think more about.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.